So I saw I had a little signal. Thought I would go live for a few minutes. Beth and I are out here in our Mochens, Feel Free Mochen series boats. She's in her Mochen Light. And I am in my Mochen V2. Both made by Feel Free Kayaks. We are fishing the Summer Slam Appreciation event. Trying to put a fish on the board before we go to a barbecue here in a little bit. I'm working my Fat Jackie rod. It's a custom-made rod. I've got a 511 Bass Pro Shop spinning reel on it. I'm throwing a Ned rig with a TRD. Water's really stained out here. It's low. I'm back in one of my favorite impoundments. It's about a 10-acre flooded ridgeline between two creeks that DNR put together years ago. It's got, it's like a pond system. I don't know. Anyway, at one time it was all this brush that you're seeing broke down, stood up high like that tree I was fishing. And then we had a really bad storm come through here back in 2016, a derecho, that just tore everything down. Of course, it tore everything down everywhere, so. Hoping I can get a hook up here. Most of this water in here is probably between 4 feet to the deepest area is probably, I would say 10 feet down by the dam. Runs back where you're looking at there, that skyline. It runs back in that ravine. There's a creek it runs into it back there, and there's another pond system back in that little area. And then to the right, just out of view, is another one. Another creek that fills it up. It's a lot more marshy back in there. Most of the water in that area is probably about 1.5 to 3 feet deep. Got more grass than these old laurel thickets that have been covered up out here. And occasionally pull a big largemouth out of there. Water's a little lower than normal, and it is a lot more stained than normal too. So I don't know if I'm throwing the right thing. Who all's out fishing today? Let me know. Put a comment on there if you don't care. Let me know what you're fishing out of, what you're throwing, where you're at. I'm going to have another live show Tuesday night. Lining up my guests. I'm hoping we can get somebody on from the Champlain event, talk about that. see how it went up here. Maybe we can get Jody Queen back on, not sure. And then he can tell us about his event. Might try to get my boy Jim Strunk on from Indiana. If I can get Harold Harper back on. And see who else wants to come and play. But hoping a few people were out fishing today. We're catching some beautiful weather here in West Virginia today. I think mostly everywhere in the state is clean. No rain, at least not at the present time. Might have some pop-up thunderstorms in a bit. Well, hang with me here for a minute, guys. I'm gonna do a little paddling, get back to the back corner. Some brush, some grass back there I like to throw into every occasion, catch a few fish in the past. But that's a bad habit I have. Listen to some of these really good anglers talking out there, and you hear them talking about don't go on past experiences, you know, especially tournaments, because if you're doing that during a tournament, and I've done it. I've done it this year. Won a tournament down on Bluestone River back in 2016, fishing an area. And a couple weeks ago, we had a tournament. I went right back down there, caught one fish. The whole day, 8 hours, one fish. So sometimes you just have to go with where, sometimes history doesn't repeat itself. You have to go based off other conditions. It was muddy that day, and I knew I shouldn't have went back there. Should have went with my buddy John Gillespie. He went out on the New River, and he had a good day. I think he finished like 15th. So you can see all this laurel in here, old laurel. I try to drop in there on these things with the Ned rig down the bottom. It's only, I mean, if you can see the water, I don't think you can see it, but maybe 3 feet, 3.5 feet deep in here. The water's really low right now. Getting a little windage blowing me back through here. Main channel's over to my left along the bank. It floods all this. And when the water's down like this, the fish will stay over in the channel a little bit. Probably gonna have to take some of this weight off. You can see the other ridge back there and where that water runs back into that valley. Back on the back side of it, probably, 500 yards is where grass line starts. Oh, I just had about 11, 12-inch largemouth swipe come by my bait as I was cruising right there. So I found them back here, I think. I'm gonna slide over here next to this. The difference in the color back here. That's where the channel is. No, get back here where I can fish it. Must have had a weak spot in there or something. I'm streaming live on Twitch TV, WV Rap, YouTube live, and Facebook. I am still going to go ahead and throw another Ned rig. I want to keep it, I want to get that bait down. I know, well, yeah, I'm going to do it. For now, anyway. Headed down to my sister's house here in a couple hours. I'm gonna go eat some barbecue. Chill out a little bit. But went out the other day with the guys from Feel Free Kayaks. Oh, that broke right off. I'm spreading my laundry iron. And had a good time filming with Colby Sexton. Wanted to take him down to the Gauley River and put him down next to a class 4 rapid, class 5 rapid, in a pool and get some video. But I think that monster Kanawha Falls was pretty good backdrop. I hope he enjoyed himself down there. They got some really scenic areas right here around here with our rivers. And if you've not been to Nicholas County, Fayette County, highly recommend you give it a run. All right, let's put this Ned rig back in. The big old fat TRD. Let's see if we can get us fish. I need to get me a fish. I haven't logged a fish yet for the Feel Free Summer Slam event. We do our first drawing tomorrow night, or not drawing, but awards based on top female, top male. So that ought to be fun, seeing how people have done first week. It started a week ago today, so what we got on there? Get off there. Crud. All right, here we go. Let's put her back underneath that pine where I lost that one. See if it's refreshed back in there. That water's only about 2.5 feet deep. Oh, that was high. Get down there. That water's only about 2.5 feet back in there. Get back in there. Catch a good fish. I've got some good fish in here. It's one of my favorite holes. Throw it over by that submerged tree. So I'm actually in the channel right now. I got hung up. Now that's the bad thing about fishing this stuff. You can get hung. Especially when I'm throwing weight. hey, this water is really stained. But I'm wearing a pair of Wiley X glasses I got from MyCast a couple years ago, and I am seeing the bottom. They make a world of difference. Oh, get off that tree, baby. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna keep you guys on here for about another 10 minutes. I'm gonna see if I can, I really would love to land the nice fish in here on video. But I certainly hope everyone's out there enjoying the sunshine, the start of their summer. And if you're not doing anything Tuesday evening around 6:30, watch for my, I like to call it a show because it's more of a talk show where I try to bring on guys that are local and national guys. I've got Chris Payne has come on board with me. Anybody that's been in the kayak business, kayak fishing world for the last 7-8 years should know who Chris is. Chris is well known. He was part of the KBF. He wrote for KBF magazine. Now he's doing his own thing at Payne Outdoors. Does a lot of reviews on equipment, and I love his slogans. Like, hey, he's not paid, and he's just straight talking about it. You know, he grabs something, he reviews it, and he tells his thoughts about it. They got Derek Burgos down in Florida. I mean, dude's old school too. He's been around for a while. Back before kayak fishing was, kayak bass fishing was thing. You know, offshore kayaking was the way to go. And Derek was out there doing his thing in Miami and other locations, Tampa. So had him on there. He owns Pure Florida Water Sports now. He opened it up about 4 years ago. And he's one of the biggest dealers in the Tampa, Florida region for kayaks, and is probably the leader in kayak sales for Feel Free family of brand of kayaks. So, all right, I'm gonna hit this brush line. I hope she's sitting back there. Normally I'm good for a good fish right here by this tree. You know, this again, I'm throwing the spots that I've caught fish before. Sometimes you can't do that, especially when the water's different. Water's low right now. But as you can hear, there's frogs back in here too. And I'm hoping maybe she's sitting back in there waiting for something to plop out of that grass line. So. Probably normal. Oh, yeah, I have a little one right there following it. Let's see, it's a bluegill. Watch right here. Watch the top of the water. 2 bluegill. Let's nibble on it. Oh, they saw me. That's good to see. I hadn't seen any bluegill back here in a while. Oh, got a bite. Jerked it. Oh. That's right. Stay back in there, frog. I'm hung up on that log down there. Daggone it. That happens. quite frequently when I'm repositioning around. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm in probably a foot of water. Yeah, right there. You're always good. Probably have to move that stupid thing. Big girls sit back here in these grass, hide from the birds. Hey, let's just shut this baby off, get some fishing done, and I'll look forward to hearing from you later.